everyone. Welcome to our first episode in the series where it is uncensored, honest interview with our toppers. And the first one we have here is Dr. Bhavesh Rathore. I don't think he getting a rank one is like amazing. Before I proceed with the session, can you give me a quick nod whether we are audible and visible? Yes, so let us all welcome Dr. Bhavesh here. Dr. Bhavesh, we are so glad and honored to have you here on this platform. The very reason that we have you here is because we have been getting messages from so many students regarding how to approach the new pattern questions in AIMS because it has changed from last year. So that is the most, the prominent difficulty that the students are facing apart from what to do in this last 7 days. I am sure you also would vouch for it that in the last 7 days when the exam approaches, everyone starts feeling that we are not remembering anything. So how to overcome that? The first question that I would like to put forward to you is, what is the strategy that the students should have, the AIMS aspirants should have in this last 7 days?
Yes. First of all, thank you for such an introduction. Yes, last 7 days are very important for any exam actually, and specifically if we see for aims, now I would like to start by saying what I did in the last 7 days. Maybe we can see whether it was the right thing to do or not. So ultimately, what we want from any exam is we want a good rank. In the end, we want is a good rank. And in this exam, there are 19 subjects that are there, and we have read these 19 subjects over a period of 1 year, 1.5 year, or for maybe 6 years throughout MBBS. We have been reading about these subjects. But now on this 3 hour exam, these 3 hours will determine whether we will get the seat we want or not, whether our life will be the way we want it, or whether the rank will decide how our life will be. So this 3 hour exam will determine what will happen with us in future. So it is important to revise whatever we have read in this last 6 years in this last 7 days, which is not possible. It is obviously not possible to revise everything. So what I had done was I had realized that there are 19 subjects, out of which I knew which were my subjects which were my strength and subjects which were uh, weak subjects for me. And after having read the previous AIMS papers, by now almost everyone who is preparing for AIMS seriously would have read AIMS previous year papers, and they would have realized what topics are being asked in the AIMS exam and what is an important topic for AIMS. In every subject, they would know that this topic is important, or this chapter is important. Also, in the various coaching classes that people attend, they would have realized by now, okay, this subject is important, this is important. So what happens now is you have to just revise those topics from those subjects and stick to the material whichever you have read. I had used various sources for my preparation. I stick to that. I just revised whatever was possible in that time. I had allotted 3 subjects for one day, and in that one day, whatever I could revise from those 3 subjects, I did. And later on, I moved to the other subjects the next day. Also, another thing that you have to revise at this time is the previous year papers. By now, everyone would have those preparing seriously for AIMS would have read previous year papers, so they would have marked the answers and they would have underlined those things which were new to them. So you revise those previous year papers, especially those last 3 papers, that is 2020 Jan sessions and 2019 both sessions. Those 3 papers will become important. And another thing that is important now is this Corona. Actually, now all the webinars and seminars are dealing with COVID, and everyone is involved in thinking and dealing about COVID. So what will happen is the examiners will have COVID in their mind, and all the examiners will try to put 1 or 2 questions in their subject regarding COVID, and you can expect at least 5 to 6 questions, or maybe even 10 questions on COVID itself in these exams. So maybe that is something, if you have not read, maybe that is one important thing you have to read. Also, if you have uh, collected important topics in a single place, like few of my friends had written all the important stuff in a single book, or some people had highlighted those important charts and important tables in their book with using some bookmarks or something, or I had written down all those important things and pasted over wall in front of my table. So it is the time you have to revise all those things. Few people had read I had read Marrow Pulse as well, and I had bookmarked the important Marrow Pulse. So in the last 1 or 2 days, I also reviewed all the marrow pulse that which I had bookmarked, which I felt was important. What is important here is like you are trying to introduce as many things into your short-term memory as possible, so that on the day of exam you don't have to think a lot. You obviously would have read most of the things that are there on the exam, but if you have not revised it recently, you will either waste a lot of time thinking about the answer, or you will not get the right answer itself, which will create a lot of frustration. So you are trying to just read, revise everything, which will not take more time, and gain maximum out of that time. Also, it is important now to have a proper sleep and proper food. What happens is the period when you had to work, that is over. Now it is the time you have to take things easy, you have to be relaxed. This last 7 days are important, but these are not the only thing that would determine your rank. What you have done over the last 1 year, last 6 years, these are the things which will really matter. So now these last 7 days, though are important, are not the most important part of the preparation. You have to stay relaxed, and if you stay relaxed, if you have proper sleep, I am sure you will get a better rank than you would have got if you were tensed and reading all the time.
All right, so that was a great suggestion coming from Dr. Bhavesh. Also, we would like to know your first-hand experience in the exam hall, like, since the AIMS pattern has changed. To say there are 200 questions,
Yes.
but actually because of the new pattern questions where you have matched the following, multiple true false and all those things, the number of questions actually increases. So time management is something which is
Yes.
very difficult with this new pattern questions.
Correct.
So how to tackle that time management, that is what, if you could throw some light on that.
Yes. So we were the first batch who had this new pattern questions in our exams. So what had happened was, now there are 200 questions, of which 150 are single best answer types and still 50 are the new pattern questions. So what I feel you should do is, now you have to divide those 3 hours into two parts. First 2 hours you spend for this 150 questions. Yes, those 150 questions will determine your rank. If you get a good score on those 150 questions, you will be in a better position than those who are not doing well on those 150 questions. They will determine your rank. So, being a majority, they will determine your rank. So, you have to give at least 2 hours for those 150 questions. The next 50 marks that are there, you give 1 whole hour for that, and maybe for last 5 minutes, you can keep it for reviewing all the answers which you have marked for review. Because again, in AIMS, we know that mark for review are not considered. So, we have to remove that mark for review option. So, I would say maybe 1 hour 55 minutes we can give for first 150 questions, and the next 1 hour goes completely to the 50 questions. Again,
So, Dr.
solve first
Bhavesh,
with
just
start with.
I would like to, I'm sure many students will have this query here, that you mean to say that 2 hours and 1 hour, so all the questions you are solving at the first go itself. You are not keeping any time for, reviewing the questions which you are not sure. So was that a strategy that you had?
So there are two strategies that one can follow. One can start with question one and just go fast, complete the whole paper in 1.5 hours, and then mark for review all the questions which he doesn't know, or just leave unanswered the questions he doesn't know. Come back to those questions, think about them, and answer them. Or the another approach would be to just fix a time, give around 45 seconds per question, and you give that 45 seconds completely to that question. You answer it. If you don't answer it, you just leave that question for now and leave it. So my approach was, I gave around 1 hour 50 minutes. 1 hour 50 minutes for the first 150 questions, and then another 55 minutes goes to the next 50 marks. And in the end, you are left with 15 minutes. In those 15 minutes, you can review all the questions which you have marked for review. Time management will become an issue here, because yes, completing those 150 questions in AIMS is a difficult task. NEET is different. NEET, the questions are different, but AIMS questions will be bigger. They will require you to go multi-step. They won't ask you what is the most common cause of this, or what is the most common reason for this. They will ask you in depth conceptual questions will be there. So maybe we can give 1 hour 50 minutes for first 150 questions, and then 55 minutes for the next 50 questions. That would be a strategy. Again, solving with single best answer types, we have to solve first. Again, how many questions to solve out of those 150? Again, that becomes an issue. Here we have a system of +1 -1 by 3. So if we have 4 questions, and if we randomly put option A for all the 4 questions, there is a possibility, there is probability says that 1 will be right and 3 will be wrong. So we are getting +1 and -1, which eventually becomes 0. So if your guessing skills are let's say 0, even if you answer all the questions as A, you will still get a 0 score. If you are bad at guessing, I would say answer only those questions in which you are able to eliminate at least one option. If you are say good at guessing, I would say answer all those 150 questions. That was my strategy. Answer all the 150 questions. Obviously, there were maybe at least 5 to 6 questions in which I didn't know anything. But using the knowledge that I had, and again coming to various question MCQ solving skills, if you use them, you are able to eliminate one or two options and get a good score. The guessing scores improve. So
That's absolutely that the
I
one thing that I would agree to. I mean, you really need to solve as many questions as possible. If you're really aiming for a good rank in AIMS, you have to solve, maximum number of questions. And as rightly said, all the students by this time must be knowing that how are their guessing skills. All right, so they really need to work on that, eliminating the options. As I say, using some cheat codes really help. Now, I think all of us students can hear to this that even rank 1 in AIMS, there were questions which even rank 1 did not know. So please do not panic in the exam hall if you do not know questions. Even rank 1 does not know all the questions, even in the single best answer. Do not go to the exam hall with that notion that you should know all the questions. There will be questions where you will be confused. Trust your instinct and mark the answers as rightly said by Dr. Bhavesh. Yes, over to you, Dr. Bhavesh.
Yes. And coming to the next 50 questions, what will happen is there are some questions with a plus one minus one system. There we don't want to take any risk, because if we get a wrong answer, we are both losing the plus one and also getting a negative one. That is bringing our score down by -2. So we want to not take any risk in those questions where there is plus one minus one. There are questions with plus one minus 0.25 system in the subsequent 50 questions. There we want to take maximum risks, answer all the questions, and that will become important to know what to answer and what not to answer. On the exam day, in the exam hall, when the time is running, when you are stressed about the exam, about your performance, it will become difficult. So you have to plan ahead. Okay, these questions I am trying to attend all. In these questions, I am not taking any risk at all. So in those questions, in those questions where which there was plus one minus one, I had not attempted all the questions. I think out of 6 questions, I had attempted just 3 questions in one section where there were plus one minus one, and in another section where there was plus one minus one, I attempted. I don't remember, but I didn't attempt all the questions there. So
So
there
I
I was
think
very
it's a
cautious in attempting the
sequential pattern
question.
type of questions which has plus one minus one, right? If I'm not wrong, it's a
Hmm,
sequential pattern
hmm,
which has plus one minus one.
hmm. Yeah, yeah. So if even a single thing goes wrong, your answer is wrong, and there you lose 2 marks. Instead of getting a plus one, you are getting a minus one. So that becomes a very risky thing, and there we don't want to take any risk at all. It won't matter even if we leave all the 6 questions unattempted.
All right. So if you could tell us, as students are asking here, we have a viewers who have this question. That now let us divide your questions. How many did you attempt out of 150 single best and out of the 50 new pattern? How many did you attempt and how many did you think did you get right? Because as the students are saying, because of the percentile, we actually don't get to know how many questions did the topper get right. So if you could throw light on that, that would be really great.
Uh, uh, After the exam, as far as I had calculated using the answers which various faculty had posted, I think I had got a score of around 130 to 135. I'm not very sure of what score I have got, but I think it was somewhere between 130 135. That's what I felt. Again, the answers were from the faculty, and we don't know what right answers the AIMS had taken. Um, Coming to actual previous, ours was the first batch where we had seen this 50 new questions, and many people had problem of time management. But previously, I think to get a rank one, you had to score maybe 145 150 out of 200 when there were only single best answer type. Now the competition, now people would have been used to this new pattern question, so maybe the score will go higher. Maybe the rank one will score 140 this time. That is one thing. Coming to number of questions I had answered, out of 150 single best answers, I think I had answered all the 150. Yeah, I had answered all the 150, and out of those remaining 50 questions, I had been very cautious at plus one minus one, and had attempted all those plus one minus 1/4 and plus one minus 1/3 questions. Always my approach has been that I will be taking maximum risk and attempting all the questions. That's what I had done in JIPMER exam also and PGI exam also. PGI exam was slightly different and a new pattern exam, but JIPMER exam also had gone to I had answered all those all the questions that were there. that has been my pattern, because I have realized that my guessing skills are better. But again, it depends on you. What are your guessing skills? And no, another thing that people ask is, will good knowledge equal to a good rank? Like, if I know everything, will I get a good rank? Or people will say, like, I don't know this subject, I have not read so well. Can I get a good rank? How can I improve my score with whatever knowledge I have? So yes, there are some MCQ solving skills will matter a lot. By now you would have realized what your MCQ solving skills are. How do you want to approach the exam? Some people get the right answer in their first instinct, and subsequently they overthink and answer they answer it wrongly. They answer first the right option, and then they overthink the question, and then they mark the wrong answer. That happens to a lot of people. If you are one among them, whatever is your first instinct, just mark the answer and leave it. If you feel okay, your approach is different, you have to follow your approach, whatever your approach is. Also, there are few tips that I can give in solving MCQs are, usually the if among the options one of the answer is giving a very very good description among the options. If you have four options and one of the options is a very detailed option, that usually becomes the answer. Also, among the four options, if one of the answer is the longest, like usually the longest option is the answer. Again, that was one thing that I had noticed very commonly. Doesn't work always, but usually it is more than plus zero. That what I mean to say is, if you answer four questions based on these strategies, you will get maybe 1.25 correct instead of one correct. The chances of getting right answers will be higher. And
Absolutely.
those questions which are yeah, those options which are giving those options which are usually covering the important or famous topics are usually the right answer. So these are some things which you can look out for and give a right answer. Also, the option that is there is an answer will usually be a continuation of the question. If the question is ending with R, and if the option has of the four options, if one or two options is in singular, usually that won't be the answer. So you can eliminate one or two options using this method also.
Yeah, that is exactly some of the cheat codes that I share in my classes, and I'm sure students who have attended
Yeah.
my classes would be doing that. I
Thank you.
stress so much on the cheat codes, like eliminating the options, three options going in one direction, the fourth one is the odd man out, and so many other cheat codes that I have been sharing. I'm sure if you would have been one of those who would have attended my classes, we would have been on the same tone, absolutely. Right. So, yes, we have a doubt here from Reshma who's asking how to select high yield topics during this last week. You know, there are 19 subjects, so many topics, and you read one topic, you feel you are, there's one more topic which is important. So, how to, selectively read during this last 7 days?
Yeah. So if you have actually previously attended AIMS exam, or if you are preparing for this AIMS exam very seriously, you know that high yield topics are from the previous year papers. You see the previous year papers, you know these topics are being asked frequently, and you revise those topics properly. If you are someone who is just attempting this AIMS exam without any preparation, okay, for you people, maybe I think DAMS had AIMS capsule which helped me. I didn't know what were the important topics, and I used DAMS AIMS capsule, the online. There was an online course or something, very like maybe 20-hour course or 15-hour course, which covered a lot of important topics, and they gave all the important material in a single place. So maybe you can do that if you are just attempting this AIMS exam without any serious preparation, or without having seen the previous year papers. Though I will say, at least even if you have not prepared very well, and if you have not seen previous year papers yet, maybe take some time, at least solve the questions. Don't read the explanation. Solve the last 2 or 3 session papers at least, because what will happen is, there is invariably 10 to 15% of the questions will get repeated either directly or along the same lines. Like, what I mean to say is, similar question, you can expect at least 10% questions will be repeats or similar questions. So what will happen is, it will become very easy for you to answer those questions in the exam, saving time, and also it will improve your score. It gives tremendous happiness if you can solve the question within 10 seconds. Like, you see the question, you get the answer, you change the question. It gives you a tremendous happiness, because you are saving a lot of time there. What you are having, the trouble you are having is the time management. You are just having 45 seconds per question, and in some questions, if you are spending just 10 seconds, you are giving 35 seconds extra for those numerical questions, or those questions which will require more than 145 seconds. So yeah, important topics you will have to depend on either previous year papers, AIMS capsule, or maybe whatever coaching class you have gone, they would have the faculty would have mentioned what the important topics are. Also, there are few circulating PDFs of important topics. I think you can find them online.
So how many years papers do you think is important to solve? I mean, 3 years, 5 years,
At
10
least
years?
lost. At least lost. Yeah. So what I had done was I had solved lost 4 papers of AIMS, lost 4 session papers with explanations, and totally 6 papers. If lost the 2 papers which were before 2 years where I just solved only the questions without seeing the explanations.
All right. So you mean to say at
But I
least.
think lost 3 papers are sufficient. Yeah, lost 3 papers are sufficient.
Okay, so basically, please take this point for aspirants who are really aiming at AIMS. Last 3 year papers topics, basically not the questions. The topics which are asked in those questions are the ones which are important. Just to name a few, correct me Bhavesh if I'm wrong, like AIMS more so concentrates on emergency medicine, trauma, shock, all those things. Basically, AIMS tests more of your clinical acumen. How will you manage in emergencies? What do you learn in internship, like your IV cannula color coding, Foley's catheter color coding, the vacutainers? I mean, the basic things like how do you put a rice tube? Is the neck extended? Is the neck flexed? In your ABG, is the wrist flexed? Is the wrist extended? So these are the basic things that you'll have to really concentrate on, I would say, in the last week. Right, Bhavesh? I think you would agree to it?
Yes, yes, yes. Those people who have done internship well obviously will have an upper hand over those who have not done internship well. Even if you have not done internship well, or if you have not had a lot of clinical exposure, just imagine when you are if you are seeing a clinical question, just imagine yourself as a treating doctor in front of the patient described, and whatever you will do to that patient will be the right answer here. Now the patient is coming with a bleeding somewhere. What do you want to do first? Do you want to stop the bleeding, or you want to give blood? Obviously you want to stop the bleeding. So if you can use your common sense, maybe that will also help in answering some of the questions.
Absolutely, yes. So, I mean, common sense is the most difficult thing in the exam hall because when we are in so much of stress and anxiety. But please make sure the more calm you are in the exam hall, the better it is. Easier said than done, I understand that, but yes, that's the most important thing to be followed. Let's move on to our next query that we have. Education doctor is asking that did you attempt grand test in last week? Like Marrow and Prep Ladder, like his or her target is everyday 1 grand test. Is it the right way to revise the maximum topics? Because he or she is feeling that they cannot cover the entire syllabus and they are planning to do 1 grand test per day in this last week. Is it the right strategy?
I don't think grand test will help at this time very much, because what will happen is you can't revise the entire subject or cover many topics doing grand test now. You will spend 3 hours doing the grand test and then reviewing the answers and then seeing the explanations. Again, you will have to juggle between those things where you were right and where you were wrong. So what will happen is, you can't rely on grand test now. I had done my last grand test was 3 days before AIMS, and that grand test was not to revise the subjects. That was mainly for time management. The grand tests in the last week are mainly to know whether your time management skills are appropriate or not, and how should your approach be in the exam. It is not now to revise the subjects. Now the best revision would be to revise your notes. Even if you are not able to cover everything, that doesn't matter. Sleep 6 to 7 hours a day, eat proper food, and whatever the remaining time that you are having, that is you are having out of 24 hours, you are spending 6 hours for sleep, 18 hours left. You are spending 3 hours for food and other things. Then there are 15 more hours. At least if you use 10 to 12 hours out of these 15 hours properly to revise whatever notes you can, that will be more than sufficient. I think at this time you are revising your notes, or whatever you have read previously, whatever you have marked previously in your books, that will become more important than solving grand tests. And grand tests now, maybe you can take 1 or 2 grand tests in this last 7 days, not for revising, but just to know if your time management skills are appropriate or not, and how is your approach in the exam.
All right, that's great. The other question that I have is, how many questions do you think were there video-based questions and image-based questions in AIMS? And what should be the strategy? Like how much a student should stress on that in the last 7 days?
Yeah. So I think there were only 2 video-based questions. One was about marking of right atrial border, and the another video-based question was something very simple. I don't remember also. Yeah. So it was very simple. The options that were there for the right atrial border marking were very vague. They didn't even make sense. So it was very easy to eliminate at least two options out of those four options. And for the video based questions were very simple. And also I think in this jam session also the video based questions were very simple. As far as I had interacted with a few people, they told it was very simple. Also
Yeah,
the
I
image
remember
based
there was a
questions in
question
our
on the
exam at least.
pediatric score, the silvers and the scoring in the pediatrics. That video has been repeated twice
Mm-hmm.
for the students who are applying
So
for AIMS.
okay. Yes, ma'am. That is an important topic already in AIMS. So, and also in image-based questions, the image-based questions were covering usually the important and clinically relevant things only. So, out of like even if we didn't know the image directly, eliminating the options was not very difficult. And any question where you are eliminating one or two options, I think it is better to answer the best answer types.
Okay,
So
all right.
image-based questions, I don't think you need to spend a lot of time on image-based questions. Maybe just maybe 2 or 3 hours of image-based images might be sufficient.
All right. So that is a very important thing to be remembered, that please don't waste too much of your time into either your video based or image based questions. Many questions can be solved just with some, common sense if you use. Many times even images are not really needed to answer the question. The examiner just tries to test our, how calm we are in the exam hall, how stressed do we get. Basically, they are testing more of that, I think, especially in the AIMS exam, right?
Yes.
So, coming to the next question that we have, Dr. Nikita Chaudhary is asking, is it enough to get top 100 by revising important topics from notes, previous year questions and AIMS capsule? I mean, basically, will doing this get a top 100 rank? Like if we revise the important topics from notes, previous year questions and AIMS capsule, as you mentioned.
Yeah, so it depends on your performance on the exam day. If you are having all the knowledge and if you are not able to manage time, you won't get a top 100 rank. If your MCQ solving skills are not good, you are just answering those questions which you know properly, you won't get a top 100 rank. So it depends on your MCQ solving skills, the how you are approaching the 3 hours that you are spending in the exam hall. And yes, this things that you have mentioned, what you basically want to ask, I think, is whether these resources are sufficient to get a top 100 rank. I think these resources by itself are not sufficient, but if you have read properly in your MBBS and if you have just done these things now, it might be sufficient to get a top 100 rank. But these things by itself might not be very sufficient. You will have to read. You will have to have a basic understanding of the whole of the subject as such.
Absolutely. Of course,
But
you
this,
cannot
yes,
do
yes, but
everything in this
coming to
last
like,
7 days.
yeah. But these might be the most uh, time efficient materials now. Now that important topics, previous year questions and AIMS capsule, these are time efficient materials that you can use now to get a good rank in this coming AIMS exam. So
So that is
yeah,
what you
but
mean to
overall,
say,
just
that these
the
don't
November exam,
guarantee.
if you are thinking, that might not be sufficient. Yeah.
Of course, these don't guarantee a good rank. Nothing like without your foundation. The concepts have to be really good. But if you are one of those that suddenly you realize in this last 7 days, oh yes, I have to give AIMS exam. These would be the materials that you can resort to in this last 7 days, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we have the
And
next
there is
question here.
question by Dr. Abu. Dr. Abu.
Yeah, he asking that
Yeah.
do grand
So
test
he's
and mock
asking.
test results matter?
Yes, yes. So yeah, the grand test and mock test results will be very biased. Actually, what will happen is you give a mock test in DAMS, you give a mock test in Marrow, you give a mock test in PrepLadder. Your ranks will be different in various this one. Like my DAMS mock test rank was somewhere in 120, while my Marrow rank was somewhere around I think 4 or something. PrepLadder rank was more than 10. So we get a very different rank in every exam. What happens is those people who have used DAMS extensively in DAMS mock exam, they will get a good rank. If those who have used Marrow extensively will get a good rank in the Marrow mock exam, because the questions will be either from whatever topics they have covered or whatever the questions they have discussed previously also. So what happens is, yeah, so this variability is there. what you want to see is whether your scores are your ranks are improving or not. Overall, like it won't matter whether you get a 10 rank, 20 rank in this mock exam or whether rank one. What you want to see is you are improving or not. I never got a rank one in any of the mock exams.
So, but that came as a pleasant surprise. I'm sure you were expecting that in AIMS exam, PGI, JIPMER and all the exams, right? Were you really expecting
No, I
rank
didn't.
one and or the single digit
No.
rank in this exams, Dr. Bhavesh?
Uh, I didn't expect rank one, at least for sure. I had never expected rank one, but single digit. Okay, using some of the mock, if I had seen my mock exam results were progressively improving, and I was getting a single digit rank in a few mock exams, so I thought maybe single digit was possible, but I never expected to get a rank one.
Okay, I'm sure always rank one comes as a surprise no matter how much hard work we do. And I can see you are such a down to earth person, like I can absolutely see that. And
Yes, thank.
let's see what are the other questions that we have here. Dr. Sushruta has asked that in every subject there will be some areas of memory and some areas of concepts, like we need to remember all the matter of notes or just understand the things and leave. Like how do we overcome that? 19 subjects, such a vast syllabus. Like how do we,
At this point, yeah.
Yes, Bhavesh, go ahead.
Yeah. So all the subjects will have topics which are very conceptual and topics where you have to memorize things. So at this time, those things which are more concept oriented, you will anyhow remember. If you have read in the past, if you are able to just glance through it on your notes, you will remember. But those things which are memory based, and especially if those memory based things are frequently repeated in AIMS exam, it is worth giving time to revise them extensively. Like in the last 2 days, try to cover everything that you feel is very memory oriented but is frequently asked in AIMS. So if you have already compiled such things in a single place, it will be very good to revise that material in this last 2 days.
All right. So, I mean, then we have the next query that what to do on the last day. Now, we have seen the last week already. Now, the queries are pouring in regarding the last day, the final day, and you suddenly start feeling like, I don't remember anything. So, what to do on that day? How should you plan your day or day before the exam?
Last day is it can be the least important day in the AIMS preparation or maybe the most important day in the AIMS preparation, depending on how you use it. What I had planned for my last day was our exam is at 9 a.m. and we have to reach the exam center at 7:45, 8 o'clock. And we calculate how far is our AIMS center from wherever we are staying. So now, since due to this COVID and lockdown and all those things, reaching to your exam hall will become a very important thing. How you have to plan how will you reach your AIMS center, what all the things you will be carrying. So what I would suggest you to do is try to finish whatever you want to read at 5 p.m. That's all. At 5 p.m. you are done. Whatever you have read till 5 p.m. that is done. From 5 p.m. you have a cup of tea. You watch a movie or whatever serial you feel is good, or speak with your parents, speak with your friends, speak about anything other than your studies and your exam. You just totally relax. You forget that you have an exam tomorrow, but also you prepare how you are reaching the exam, whether exam hall ticket is with you, what are the other documents you want to take to the exam center, how are you reaching the center, what time you want to wake up, how do you go taxi, everything you have to book, all those things wo sab karna hai. And also try to ensure that you get at least 7 hours of sleep. Eat a good meal, sleep for 7 hours. Also plan for the next day morning ka breakfast. We have to plan what we are going to eat for breakfast, and how are we going to go to the center. So in the last minute on the day of exam, you don't want any anxiety to be there. You don't want to be late to the center. You don't want to you basically don't want to have anything which deviates your mind from your exam. On the day of exam, your whole focus is on the exam. For 3 hours, your mind is totally relaxed. You are just solving the questions. When you are seeing a question, you are just solving that one question. You are just focusing on that one thing at that point of time and not thinking about anything else. So you don't want anything that deviates your mind on the day of exam.
Absolutely.
Finish your reading by 5 o'clock. After that, you just plan your next day.
Absolutely. Minor things, but of utmost importance, like getting your hall ticket in place, your travel, everything should be in place well before time. Please do not keep it till the last moment. We generally tend to do that. I am one of those who does that. I keep things till the last moment. I feel like this time I'll use better to read something. Maybe I'll get a question on that. But please don't do that mistake. It really gets you an adrenaline rush, then which you cannot overcome. All right. So the next question that we have, there's someone who's asking that, during this mid-year time, what were the ranks that you used to get in the grand test? Like suppose you were preparing for NEET.
The best rank I've got. Yeah.
Sorry?
Someone preparing for?
Like someone who's preparing for NEET or AIMS November, and they are asking like, at this time in the middle of the year, what should be the ranks? What was your rank? They want to know about your ranks that you used to get in the grand test.
Yeah. So somewhere around thousands.
Wow, that's great. So guys, just make a note of that. Like, you can really jump from thousands to like 1. And now it proves that the zeros really do not matter, be it in the beginning or be it at the end. So 1000 or 0001, you can really jump to that from absolutely. So don't worry if you're getting your ranks, the grand test ranks in thousands in the middle of the year, you are on the right track and you are on the track to get rank 1 like Dr. Bhavesh, right? The next question that we have is how to manage time or how to increase the speed of solving questions. I hardly get 25 minutes for review at last. Rachit Shah is asking. How do we increase the speed of solving the questions?
25 minutes for review is good enough. Yeah, if you are able to get 25 minutes for review, in the end it's good enough. I think I had just 15 minutes for reviewing the questions I had marked. I had marked around 20 questions in the 150 questions that I had single best options. In those single best options, I had marked around 20 questions out of 150, and in the 50 questions, I had marked around 10. So there were totally 28 to 30 questions which I had marked and which I had to review in the last 15 minutes. That was sufficient. If you are able to spare 25 minutes for review, that is good, more than enough. But if you have if you have marked a lot of questions for review and you have just left with 25 questions, that becomes an issue. So that becomes the problem is in the number of questions that you are marking for review. Actually, you don't want to unnecessarily review all the questions. It's only those questions which you feel you can do, or those questions where you genuinely have a doubt key either of the two options is right, you mark for review. Otherwise, you don't mark for review.
All right. So absolutely, I would vouch for this. This is a mistake that I did in my All India exam in the year 2012. I only marked the questions where I was sure enough because I was so afraid of the negative marking. So I used to mark only those questions. I marked only that in the exam hall, and that actually I marked only 240 questions out of 300. Please don't do that mistake. Even after doing that, I still managed to get a rank of 1300. But then we had Maharashtra and we had the state exams. But you don't have that option. So be aggressive from the beginning itself. That is what Dr. Bhavesh wants to say. Do not keep too many questions for review. Actually, the time which you are using to read the questions in the first go, if you're not marking the answer, that time is wasted. Trust me, when you come back to the questions, again you have the same thought. It's not that in your 1 hour your knowledge or your something is going to change. So whatever answer you are going to mark in the first reading, that is what you're going to mark in the second itself. So be very, very aggressive in marking the questions right in the first attempt. Don't put much questions for review. All right. The next question that someone is asking, Taranjeet is asking, what is the best source for medicine MCQs?
Yeah, I think we can keep the questions regarding the subsequent November AIMS and NEET to a separate session. We can have a separate session regarding that. I think if people are watching this for the upcoming 7-day later exam, it would be a waste of time to speak about this for them.
Absolutely. So let us just have a poll, and let me just inform all our viewers here that Dr. Bhavesh would be there available on a Telegram group, Dr. Nikita's Rad Synapse, to guide you to solve your queries, whatever you have. This particular live interview is targeted for the last 7 days of AIMS. And in this last 7 days, if time permits for him, because he's pursuing MD medicine at AIIMS Delhi, for all those who do not know. So if he gets some time from his hectic residency, maybe he will post some polls, to give you, to help you develop the MCQ solving skills in this last 7 days. So stay tuned on a Telegram group, and right now for the NEET exam, of course, there's a long time, and he would be there to guide you for any exam, because he has been a top ranker in all the exams. So I think maybe we have covered the majority of the queries that students had. Dr. Bhavesh, apart from that, if you have something which you feel that we have missed, or maybe you would like to address it on our Telegram group, any last suggestion you would like to give to the students?
Yeah. So these last 7 days are important, definitely important for AIMS exam, but these are not the most important period of your preparation. The important period of your preparation has already gone. Now, this is the time you want to relax. The more relaxed you are in these last 7 days, the better your performance will be on the day of exam. Obviously, you have read on those preparing seriously for the exam. Obviously, you have read very well, so you will definitely do well. Just stay calm, relax, and yeah. So if you are calm and relaxed, that would be enough.
That's great. So just quickly,
Stay calm, stay relaxed, and revise whatever is there from the notes. Yeah. You revise your materials that you have read, revise the previous year papers, and if you have compiled any book where you have written all the important stuff, just revise that and have faith in yourself. You are doing well, and you will do well. You will get a good rank.
Absolutely. So that was an amazing suggestion, some tips coming uncensored from Dr. Bhavesh regarding what all to use. Let me have a quick review for all the viewers here who have joined late as well. What all suggestions did we have is, number one thing, these last 7 days, actually they will not determine anything. Just have faith in yourself. Whatever you have read up till now, the knowledge that you have gained, that is what is most important. If at all, you are the ones who are till the last moment reader, the things that you should concentrate in this last 7 days are your at least last 3 years papers of AIIMS. All the topics, you should be very well versed with them. In the exam hall, be very aggressive, mark the answers in the first go itself. If there is a question which you are absolutely clueless about, like you have not heard the topic as well, leave only those questions unattempted. Otherwise, majority of the questions you should go for, except the questions like the sequential pattern question where you have +1 and -1. So the negative marking is too much. So maybe those questions you can leave if you are not sure. All right. So I think those are the most important points. It really sounds very easy talking to you, Dr. Bhavesh, that cracking AIIMS and getting rank 1 is not really difficult. If you have faith in yourself and you have your good MCQ guessing skills, MCQ solving skills, that's all you need, and some calmness and some common sense in the exam hall. That is what all is needed in the exam hall. So thank you so much for joining with us. It was really a great pleasure to talk to you. For viewers who have their queries still unsolved, as I said, Dr. Bhavesh would be there on a Telegram group. As and when he gets time, of course, he would reply to your queries. Right, Dr. Bhavesh?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So thank you, viewers. Thank you all for joining in, and I hope this interview helped you in getting some insights into what to do in the last 7 days. So now go grab some good sleep, or if you are a night owl, go and grab some studies. So as I say, keep studying, keep revising, and keep winning. Signing off for today, Dr. Nikita and Dr. Bhavesh here.